Executives Training and Support site. This is another in a series of videos designed to introduce the GiFTgive platform, our engines and our tools for the nonprofit who is just getting up and going. And I guess the thing we want to say is this is really supposed to be very simple, and with these videos you should be able to get your needs up and get yourself out and marketed and up and running and really in no time, no effort. So this particular segment is about merchandising your needs. Now let's talk a little bit about merchandising. What are we using the word merchandising for in a nonprofit environment? Well, you're doing something a little different here. You are showcasing the little specific or big specific items that you use in your nonprofit on a daily or regular basis, and sometimes it's a wish list item, but nevertheless these are specific items that you would like to see donors fund to supply to you. So in a sense, they're shopping. They're acting just like a consumer. And when we shop or consume, we have a certain way with which we approach that. And the way in which the folks showing us the products and services respond is, in a sense, merchandising. It's simply helping us and making it easier for us as donors to make the purchase transaction, even though it's not for our own benefit, but for the nonprofit. So we merchandise these needs as a way of showcasing them and lifting them up for the inspection and choice, that's a key word, the choice of the donors. Sometimes when we merchandise these needs, we need to group them into something that makes more sense. And we call that grouping a campaign. Now you've heard the word campaign used other times with nonprofits, and it translates very easily here. It's just a different view of needs. We might need a particular item year-round, but we might ask for it differently in one campaign, say a end-of-year Christmas drive, than we would in another campaign, which we might call help our needy clients in this location. So there's multiple ways that you can look at it, and a need can rest in a number of different campaigns. The campaigns are simply a tool that help the nonprofit show the donor the sense about how these needs go together. A fork by itself doesn't necessarily mean very much, but a fork as a part of tableware that's a part of a soup kitchen, well, now that means something significant. And you want to tell that story in a holistic way and not just about the fork. And that's where campaigns come in. Think of it as a unique view of the needs. Sometimes it's an event. This campaign, if you will, is going to need a name. The one-day sale, the Christmas coat drive, the Feed a Hungry Child campaign. It can have whatever you creatively come up with, but it's going to need a name, and it helps if it has a slogan. We think of the Macy's one-day sale as if it's all Macy's name. They use it so often. It's become something that we, whether we mean to or not, we identify with them. We understand what it means. It means something that was available yesterday and will again be available tomorrow is nevertheless being brought to our attention today for some specific reason, and we should pay attention. So once you've chosen a name and a slogan, you're going to want to create a story that you can share about this campaign. What will this group of needs accomplish? What difference will it make? How can you tell a story not so much about the fork or the spoon or even all of the things that are on the table, but rather the soup kitchen itself? How are these small pieces a part of a more important whole, and how can you tell that story? Now, I'm not asking you to be a Pulitzer Prize winning author here. It's really very easy. You know this because you live it every day. You know what difference these needs make in the lives of the people that you're serving. All you have to do is tell that story. And you can tell it any way you like. You can stand in front of a camera like I'm doing and tell it on video. If you don't like the camera, you can stand behind a recording device, a microphone of some sort, and record it. You can take pictures. And if you don't want to do any of those things, you can simply write it down using the keyboard. We have our own and access to other stock pictures, which you are welcome to go and access. And those pictures may suffice to tell your story. The point is, it's really simple, and you have a lot of different ways to go about it. And the key thing is not to get overwhelmed, because it really isn't very hard at all. Once you've written your story, and you've put it up there with the slogan and some video perhaps, or maybe a photograph or two, or a slideshow maybe, or an audio recording of something that matters, that connects to that particular campaign, that set of needs, then you'll want to specify a couple of things. You certainly want to illustrate, or excuse me, you certainly want to make it clear how long this campaign will go on for. We referenced a minute ago the idea of a one-day sale. People understand that means today. It might mean last night, and it might mean tomorrow morning, but it really means now. It doesn't mean when I get around to it. So you're going to set a duration for this campaign, and you're going to convey that information to your donors so that they know what their time window is in which they can choose and react. You also, of course, want to put a shipping address on this. We have your default shipping address that you put in when you signed up for GiFTgive, but this may be a need that goes to a specific location other than your default address, so you'll want to put that in there as well. Now, we've built a couple of tools, and you'll see this on the site when you look at the campaigns and you're setting up a campaign. We've built some tools that will help you get the word out. We're not going to go into them in detail here, but I will tell you at a surface level, we will offer you the ability with essentially a push of a button to create a printed circular similar to the things that you would see, in your Sunday newspaper, that sort of deals of the week from Target or Kroger or some other vendor. That's a way of getting your message out to the people who are not in front of a computer at the moment, and it brings them back to it. And again, we'll look into that in a separate video, but there is a circular tool that you can use. We also have a button on there for what we call the HTML email. That's kind of a mouthful, but it really talks about an email with a lot of punch to it that goes out through your mail service provider to your audience, including pictures and text and color, and it's basically designed to get their attention and to bring the sense that this is something that you need to look at now. But that HTML email also is produced with the push of a button. You can edit the text and you can make the email a little different, but it's really no different than sending another email, unless you're receiving it, in which case it has considerably more impact than your run-of-the-mill email. And you don't have to use those tools. They're just there and available if you like them. And as I say, you can learn more about those in subsequent videos. But that's it. You've now merchandised your needs. You've explained what they are, and why you need them, and the context in which they will be used, and why it makes a difference, and when you need it, and simple questions like that, so that a donor has no doubt and has not made any effort, but simply understands how they can make a difference. And the next thing they do is push the donate button. And that's it. You're done. You turn this need on, this merchandising engine on, and you're good to go, and the public is ready to come in and meet your needs. So, thank you, and join us again for other videos in this series. And please visit our knowledge base and support page, where you'll find a much more in-depth analysis and discussion around what these tools are and how you can use them. But we wanted to give you this introductory level brush around how to get yourself up and running quickly and simply with no fuss, no muss. Again, thank you.